Hello, everyone. This is lecture 25 of Petroleum Reservoir Geomechanics PTRE 465531. Last time we were in module 3 and we will be in module 3 today. I did post homework 3 last night, and that is the only homework between now and the exam. So it's a very important homework, doesn't necessarily mean difficult. It's moderately to quite a bit time consuming, so I gave you until November 8th. But I think you know how it's more important than difficult in the sense that you know what the answers should look like, but getting them is the important thing and understanding the principles that are being used backwards and forwards, because this is what exam number 2 would be about. I did ask to see if we can make the second exam 75 minutes. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I will insist. And if they let us have it 75 minutes, since none of the on-campus students are actually taking the exam, they are guests. I will basically make it for 75 minutes, but the exam will be a 50-minute exam in the sense that I will write questions that you need to answer comfortably in 50 minutes and give you 75 minutes to make up for any issues that may have been created during the first exam. Although the first exam was for 50 minutes, I don't know about the time. I have heard that there were some, the time was tight, and I kind of understand. This was a class that was designed for 75 minutes lectures, and we have to distribute it between 50 minutes lectures because of the room issue. Anyway, yeah. So last time, we looked at something that we didn't look in the previous year, which was the first year I was teaching this class, and that is the Lundstern and Zovac 2022 plot, which has stress on the vertical axis and alpha phi on the x-axis, on the horizontal axis. This is a plot that its utility is quite uncertain yet. It's being used. It's important. No, it's being used by mostly one person. I think only one person has used it so far. But it might grow to be important in the future. Just like the polygon is. I mean, there are many uses for the polygon. Basically, whatever you can show on more Coulomb diagram, more circle, you can basically show it on the polygon graphically. So I believe that this is going to become important. I have one student working using it, Nassim, and potentially another student too, another couple of students as well. So it could be quite a bit important in the future, just like the polygon is right now. So that drawing this was a little bit more complex than the polygon because we are using two equations and we have 6 parts. And I didn't go through it in as much detail as I did with the polygon, but basically you have 3 sections: normal faulting, strike slip faulting, reverse faulting, and then 3 sections, 2 lines each for SH min and SH max. So each of the 6 lines require a different equation. None of the lines are the same. So there is 2 expressions that are going to be used, 2 equations that are going to be used for the 6 lines. And this is the one for the more Coulomb failure criterion that we mentioned. This is the most important equation for exam number 2. I want you to know how to use it backwards and forwards. And basically, when I say backwards and forwards, I basically mean you need to be very comfortable in what you are using for S1 and what you are using for S3. That's important. That's the only thing that can change, basically. It's a pretty simple equation. You also know that the right-hand side for stability needs to be bigger or equal to the left. If the left becomes bigger than the right side, then you have failure or slippage. That's when the earthquakes start. And the second equation is that from Simpson 97, which is basically tries to collapse all three stress values for the in situ stresses into one, alpha phi. That is varying from 0 to 3. And from 0 to 1 is normal faulting. From 1 to 2 is strike slip faulting. From 2 to 3 is reverse faulting. And we have basically S1, S2, S3 that varies with each regime. Normal faulting S1 is SV, S2 is SSF, S2 is SH max, S3 is SHB. For strike slip faulting, S1 is SH max, SV is S2, and S3 is SH mid. And for reverse faulting, S1 is SH max, S2 is SH mid, S3 is SV. Be very comfortable with this stuff. It's the most important thing for that second homework, second exam, I would say. Okay, so we learn how to draw it by looking at each of the 6 lines separately. Well, first you build a plot, and then you add the vertical stress, SV. It's very easy. Straight line. At 1, because everything is normalized by SV. What about pore pressure? Okay, dotted line. Here is at 0.3. Again, straight line, very easy to draw. You make an array of values varying from 0 to 3. And then you have an array of 0.433 values. Basically, a vector that is 0.433, 0.433, 0.433, or a column if you are using Excel. And then you plot it, plot one versus the other. On the y-axis, you have all the time 0.433. On the x-axis, you have from 0 to 3. So the increments you decide. You just need 2 points to draw a straight line, remember. Now, for the other lines, it's a little bit more difficult. I will suggest you start first, and you have to do it for the second homework, for the third homework. You start first from this line. For that, you basically use this equation, and it's basically hey, how are you? Good, good. Hey, Malik. It's basically this line. Sorry. I was gonna bring you chocolate. I forgot them in the office. I gave them to Kalu, then I went to get a sandwich. And so it's basically this line. Same equation that you have to use. And then we have, let's go quickly this time. I want to draw, the second line will be this line, which is basically this 2.2017. Okay. So you use that equation the same way as you used it for the polygon. Now, we have only used this equation for basically this and this. Now I would suggest you come here and you basically use this equation by plugging the appropriate values for normal faulting, and n would be 0 in this case for normal faulting, and you create an equation for S2 in terms of alpha phi. So you have alpha phi on one column and S2 on the other column. And you basically set alpha phi to a certain value from 0 to 1. I think in the last lecture, accidentally, I said 0 to 3. I meant 0 to 1 because that's where the equation is valid. And then you calculate S2, which is SH max. And that's how you get this line here. Then you come here. And again, you use the same equation, but you use basically for reverse faulting, we said SV is S3, SH mean is S2, SH max is S1. So now you want a line for SH mean, right? This dotted line shows SH mean. So you come here and you solve for S2. S3 is SV, which you know. S1 is SH max, which we also know because it's a constant value. They are 2.2017, for instance, if you are using no pore elasticity. And then you solve again for function of alpha phi. And then you solve S2 in terms of alpha phi. You make alpha phi to vary from 2 to 3. That's, I think, the mistake I made in the last lecture. I told you from 0 to 3. But you only need it from 2 to 3 because that's where it's valid. And you solve for it, you plot that, and now you are done with 4 of those 6 lines. And you are left with this line for SH max on the top. And this line for SH mean. So how are you gonna do it? You have 2 equations, and you want to arrange it so that you have 2 unknowns and 2 equations. It's a strike slip faulting, so S1 is SH max, S3 is SH mean, so 2 unknowns. The other side is constants, pore pressure is constant, and at the bottom you have S2 is basically SV1, PSI per foot, right? Which is known. S3 is unknown, SH mean. S1 is SH max. So again, 2 unknowns, 2 equations, and you need to solve it for alpha phi going from 1 to 2, because that's where it's valid. It will be valid. So what I suggest is that you solve for the first equation for either SH max or SH mean, and then you plug it into the next equation, and you create an expression for basically either SH max or SH mean, one of the two, in terms of alpha phi. And then you make alpha phi vary from 1 to 2 on one column, and you calculate the equivalent SH max or SH mean in the other column, and then you use that SH max or SH mean to go back to the first equation and get the other one. That's how we go. That's how we do it. That's how I did it actually, not a long time ago. when I first came across this plot. Okay. That was from last Friday, basically. I thought I went by a little bit too fast. And I made that stupid mistake with the alpha phi. I was telling you from 0 to 3, but it's only for the range at which you move, because these are 6 equations, and they each have their own range, basically, that they need to be drawn. So let's see the homework. Okay. Homework 3, due on November, Friday, November. Oops, sorry. This is what you need to press. Okay, so background. Starting in the mid-2000s, there has been an observable increase in seismic activity around areas where saltwater disposal, abbreviated by SWD, takes place via injection in association with produced wastewater from oil and gas development. So oil and gas development is basically related to hydraulic fracturing. As the rate of SWD injection increased, so did earthquake occurrences in the surrounding area. There are, however, many injector wells that do not spatially correlate with earthquakes, and the boundaries between safe and high-risk practice have yet to be defined. Basically says, I'm expecting an earthquake there and I get it, but I'm expecting an earthquake here and I don't get it. So my model is not good enough to go to the regulators, like the Texas Railroad Commission. I go to, what's his name? I forgot. I go to Maxwell.
Yes.
And I tell him, Maxwell, you need to make a law to tell the people not to inject above a certain injection rate. And he's gonna say why? And because this model says so and so. And he's gonna say, how is your model? How do you know that your model is good? I don't have data to say that, right? So, yeah. I'm saying Maxwell because I don't want to say about the other chick that wanted to run to become the commissioner, the one from
Not from Texas?
yeah, did some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we know Maxwell knows what he's doing, you know. For this purpose, several reservoir simulation studies.
Actually, today it's his birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's ironic. That's ironic. When he was in class and we had a similar homework, he was telling me in the other class, he was telling me this should be a project. This should be a project.
He's doing a master with already.
Oh, already finished.
Finished?
Yeah.
And he's working with the railroad.
The Railroad Commission.
Yeah.
He's actually an employee of the Railroad Commission.
I thought that he was doing internship there. No.
Probably they hired him full time. I don't know.
No, he's full time.
Oh, he's full
Yeah,
time.
he was doing a simulation of injection, right?
Okay, I don't know.
He was doing like CO2 storage, something like that. With the, no, not storage. He was doing sequestration.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But yeah, the other lady wanted to become, it's a voted position, like you get elected, he's an employee.
Yeah.
Well,
there is another master student, he's doing like injection in Yankana or Bull Creek.
Oh yeah, Christopher.
Christopher.
He
yeah.
graduated. That
He
one
graduated
graduated. I
too?
was in his committee, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
writing a
injecting for
paper.
100 years or something, right?
Yeah, but he changed the project tremendously since we started working on it, basically. Yeah, but he graduated, he's writing a paper now on it. On it. For this purpose, several reservoir simulation studies integrated formation and injection data from the Fort Worth Basin including hundreds of wells with relevant data located in the following counties: Denton County, Ellis, Erath, Hill, Hood, Jack, Johnson, Palo Pinto, Parkland, Somervell, Heron, and Wise, in order to predict the pore pressure variation with time in response to the SWD injection history. Small parenthesis, one of those counties, those are counties in Dallas area. One of those counties, I believe it's Wise County. Denton is where Denton made fracking illegal for a while, and this is where I think the SMU is, Southern Methodist University, which is a pretty rich university in Dallas. But I think Wise County, they transfer the mineral rights to God.
Gold?
To God, I think. I think it was Wise County. They transfer all the mineral rights in the county to God. Yeah. And then you have to have God to sign if you want to drill in that area, you know?
Really?
Yeah. So they were. I was reading a book that it's one of those counties for
So
sure.
it's impossible to drill or do something like that.
Yeah, we had to deal with it after.
Except on condition.
Yeah. But it was, I believe something else happened maybe in Wise County. I think it's Wise County that they did that. Anyway. Problem, section 1. Using the input parameters provided at the end, build a stress polygon in Excel or a coding language of your choice, such as MATLAB, Python, or Fortran, to determine the critical pore pressure. I will abbreviate it PPCRE magnitude in PSI, above which induced seismicity is expected to occur in the Fort Worth Basin. Use the equation for Moore Coulomb failure criterion from our class notes, where mu is the internal friction coefficient of rocks' natural pre-existing faults, PEF. For practicality, you can assume that the formation in which the salt water is injected into initially exhibits hydrostatic pore pressure, 0.43 psi per foot, and that injection takes place at 12,000 feet from the surface. Then use the Moore circle to demonstrate that the number you calculated is the actual PP crit. 3 circles will suffice, one for each. Pore pressure below critical, pore pressure up critical, pore pressure above critical. Use the version of the Moore Coulomb failure criterion from our class notes for pre-fracture rocks, i.e. no cohesive strength, tau not equal to 0, where tau is the shear force applied to the PEF, and sigma mi is the normal stress holding the PEF from slipping. I know in class I was using 2 L's, the same thing. Hint, the equation for a circle in Cartesian coordinates is given by x squared plus y squared equals to radius squared. And then I wrote this line last night. I didn't see that I mentioned it here. So it was like using equation 1 implies that the rock is assumed to be pre-fracture, not intact, tau not equal to 0.
It's already mentioned there.
What? Yeah, I wrote the other part last night. I forgot.
You remember the student when we gave him a hint, he said, why you gave us a hint
Yeah.
from drilling?
Yeah.
He said it's complicated, you know.
No, it's supposed to help, like how
Yeah,
to draw
he's
the
supposed to help
circle.
He said you shouldn't give us a hint.
Well, you can draw the circle any way you like, but I'm giving you the equation of the circle. And I will remove that last sentence then, or add it
You
some.
have to define the critical pore pressure. Right?
You like to calculate critical pore pressure using this equation, show it on the Moore Coulomb circle, and then show it on the polygon. Or yeah, basically 2. You do 2. The Moore circle and the polygon. Section 2, copy your stress polygon from section 1 and updated in order to incorporate the impacts of poroelasticity on the frictional limits according to basically the poroelasticity. No big difference, where alpha B is the Biot's poroelastic coefficient. I didn't update using, when it does that, is when it doesn't update,
Yeah,
yeah, I need to
The graph.
fix that.
Yeah.
It needs to say using equation 3.
okay,
Determine how poroelasticity impacts PP crit for the given input parameters. Does it make it bigger or smaller than before? Do poroelastic effects make PP crit to increase or decrease? What is the new PP crit value? Use the Mohr circle to demonstrate your PP crit in the same way as you did before without the impacts of poroelasticity. And now section 3, build 2 Lundstern and Zoback 22 style plots to indicate the limits of the magnitudes of SH max and SH min for the initial and critical conditions, PP equals 0.43 PSI per foot and PP crit respectively. Incorporate poroelasticity via equation 3. Use a vertical line to indicate the FWB's stress state in terms of alpha P. What differences do you note? Or do you know the differences at all? This is a little bit of a rhetorical question. It's a question for me as well. I don't know the answer. But do you know anything? I mean, you will be able to see some stuff. I know what you're gonna see. Anyway, save all your code spreadsheets for future use, even beyond this class. For a bonus couple of points, since you guys did amazing in the first exam, can you think of another scenario involving human action in the subsurface that can potentially trigger such seismic events, something other than what we're discussing here, saltwater disposal? Let me know for, I will ask Kalu how many extra points to give for this. Maybe a couple or something.
Give us input.
yeah.
And then the inputs, yeah, of course. So you have to have the inputs.
So SV, SH marks, all, you
Yeah.
get everything basically.
Yeah, they have everything.
Just the PP they need to
It's
calculate.
given.
Yeah.
It's given. Initially, it's given.
The PP?
Yeah, but there is a catch because,
There's two PP.
yeah,
There's the
and
one to start your polygon initially.
the one that you find.
Okay.
I'm giving you PP equals,
Because you're injecting, yeah.
what is the PP? 0.43 PSI per foot.
This is with like before injection.
What did we do in class though? We divided by SV and we got like 0.43 SV.
Yeah, we got uniqueness number.
Yeah, but now look, SV is no longer 1. It's 1.1.
Yes.
So you need to be careful.
It's like you are joining under the bridge.
Under a bridge?
Yes. That's one of the extra 0.1 count for, you know, if you have like a build.
Oh, built in on top. No, I mean, it's a logical value to have. It's just, it won't be, when you go from PSI per foot to unitless, like in terms of SV, it won't be 0.43 anymore. It will be less. So it's important to know that. I didn't mention it last year and they got caught, I think. Yeah, summary of the deliverables. So I want a spreadsheet with 4 tabs, 5 tabs, and then 1 PDF. A tab with the stress polygon, no poroelastic effect. A tab with the Mohr circle, no poroelastic effect. A tab with the stress polygon with poroelastic effects. A tab with the Mohr circle with poroelastic effects. And a tab with the 2 Lundstern and Zoback plots with poroelastic effects. And then a PDF with all the results summarized with images and images of the plots, screenshots basically.
Are we allowed to do the Mohr circle on my ESET?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do that without using MATLAB or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have-
No, you can.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to use MATLAB because MATLAB is not a requirement for the class. You can use anything you want. Anything you want, yeah.
We were doing it.
The only other catch is we talk about this. Remember, you divide by 1.1, not by 0.43. The other catch is for the Lundstern plots. I ask you to consider poroelasticity. That means when you come here to draw it, huh? You need to have alpha B here and alpha B here.
Is it a given value for alpha B or not?
Yeah, I gave it to you as 0.8.
0.8?
Yeah,
That's too much. No,
no, it's where is it? I gave it.
is it cent or what?
No, it's well,
Like, one is no pro-elasticity either.
I think it's sad actually.
Cent,
Ellenberger.
yes.
So 0.8. That's what the Valerie used in her. No, she didn't even use poroelasticity in her thesis.
When you got that PDF, it was a Word document, right?
Yeah,
Did you do save as or print as? I think.
save us.
Really?
Yeah, but I did update all fields and I didn't check.
No, because, okay, because
Yeah.
when you do print as, the print as updates the fields too.
Oh, automatically.
Yeah, except there is
Oh,
a shortcut to disconnect the update.
oh, yeah. I didn't check it. I did it last night.
Yeah,
I will fix it then.
that was happening to me when I print, it always error, but it doesn't show on the Word. And
Yeah.
then when you do Control P for the print
Oh,
viewer,
it shows.
it shows that error,
Did notice that actually. I should have noticed that. Yeah.
except for save as.
Yeah. So how many mistakes I have to fix in this document? I have here, I shouldn't say earthquakes occurrences. I should say earthquake occurrences, not a double plural. That's one mistake. Then I have a double reference. Here I need to either remove this or remove this, keep it only one. And then the errors. Okay, I will fix it. But you can start working on the homework. It's not a
And
detrimental issue.
you didn't give the AP equation, should you give it or not?
Oh, they can find it from the notes. This is the homework. But, oh yeah, good point by Hakim. Okay, the AF equation doesn't change when you have poroelasticity or no poroelasticity. Only the first equation, that is 1 minus. So don't be like intimidated by saying, oh, I have to poroelasticity. You just come to the first equation and you multiply PP by alpha B. Just this,
Yeah.
no other difference. The difference on the Lundstern plot is very, very small. It's noticeable, but it's small. I mean, the TA knows, so he's gonna look for it. But yeah. And then another point is that I told you use a vertical line to indicate the stress state of FWB. Okay, you have the values of SV, SH max, and SH mean of FWB, right? I gave them to you. What?
That's beautiful. So in this graph, we can represent the three stresses with triangle.
No, with just one line, because you can calculate alpha phi for FWB a certain value. It's gonna be a certain value. It looks like it's gonna be what? Let's see. It's what is it? It's SV is 1.1, SH max is 1.05, so close to it. SH mean is 0.84. What kind of stress regime is it? Normal, reverse, or strike slip?
That's a normal one.
Yeah, and very close to strike slip, right?
Yes.
Correct. So I expect alpha phi to be close to 1 and less than 1. So it would be somewhere in this region. Could be somewhere here. Just show it to me like a straight line. You make alpha phi constant value on one column and stress varying from 0 to 2.5 on the other column, and you plot it.
No, just I'm thinking about something else, which is because here the envelope is only SH and SH max, okay?
Yeah.
But for the most people, we care about the maximum stress and the minimum stress, right?
Yeah, but you also have SV on this.
Yes. So any point on the normal fault will be SV and something. It will be SV SH mean.
Yeah.
So it means it will be out of the envelope. Even if, and it's still stable. Because the envelope take only SH2 and SH1. But the
Yeah.
real envelope of S1 and S3 is the whole thing from SV to SHV
For normal.
for normal stable stress.
Yeah. So SH max cannot go outside of this value.
Yeah, SH max cannot go outside, yes.
Yeah.
But still our regime is from 1 to something from SHV. That's our motion.
Okay, yeah, because you don't care about S2.
Yeah, so it means it doesn't
So-
mean the envelope is stable. It's the envelope, yes, it's stable,
Yeah.
but it's the whole thing, the whole rectangle,
Yeah. So I think
except in the middle, as you are saying,
the middle S1 is
Yeah.
SH max and S3 is SH mid.
the middle, it means the whole shape in the middle is the equivalent of more circle.
More circle, yeah. Whereas here, this is the more circle.
Yes,
Okay. And here,
is the whole.
this is the more circle.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And the one I like here is like you can still, if you don't know what is the normal faulting, but you can still see that the curve of SH max is the curve of SH min and SV.
Yeah, you see where SH SB is between the
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a nice plot.
yeah.
And we just need to find some utility for it.
I don't know if we was like we know we have the more circles, it
Yeah.
can be 3 circles.
Yeah,
So here it could be maybe 1 triangle.
Yeah, then you need to basically use
Yeah, but the thing
only
is,
two.
how can we do the interpretation?
But SV will always be a straight line, right?
Yeah, the circle is straight line. Any circle is straight line because it relates only 2 values of stresses.
Yeah.
But the 3,
No, the SV is a straight line. Yeah.
yeah, the SV is straight line, yeah, except in offshore.
Yeah. Yeah, and then but even then it's the same depth that you are looking at.
Yeah, actually.
So it wouldn't be,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. And alpha phi, I don't know. But it looks nice. And it's easy for the homework is very easy. Don't get intimidated by the word pole elasticity. It's not difficult at all. Don't be intimidated by having to, I think you will spend time having to draw this plot. But once you draw them, you have them available. It's just like that big table we made, spreadsheet we made for homework 2. But for the elastic moduli, you can use it for anything after that. Anything that behaves with linear elasticity, which is basically the most basic model. You have 2 inputs, you get the other 4 by having that spreadsheet. Similar to here, save those plots because you will certainly use some of them in the next class 475 if you take it with me. But you will don't be like Maxwell. It was the first time I was teaching the class. And I had to show them how to do the polygon. I thought they would already know. And he was saying that this should have been a project. Anyway, but yeah, it's not a difficult homework, it's an important homework.
Also, another one is, so since AFI, it's not a function of pore pressure.
Yeah,
It means in all the cases, whatever we inject or we produce, we cannot change the stress regime.
yeah, it doesn't change, but well,
Or in real life.
in real life it does because pore pressure changes not just sigma H mean by directly, but also it changes SH mean period and SH max. It doesn't change SV. It changes sigma V obviously, but it has an impact on depletion. In fact, Nicolas Espinosa from Texas has a big section in his introductory geomechanics class about depletion and the changes in the confining stresses. It changes them about this much, okay. But we don't use it in this delta SH max equal to delta SH mean equals to alpha, no, sorry. 1 minus 2 ni divided 1 minus ni. This is Poisson ratio, delta PP. So say my pore pressure increase. So delta PP is positive. This is a small value, 0.5, let's say. So 0.5 times a positive value, it's half of that positive value. So it changes the actual SH max by an important value. And then you get changes there too. And it is for, it makes it more normal. It makes it less than alpha phi decreases if you take that into account. But then it won't work with the polygon very well. So I took it out of the homework. But we will see those later on, I think, if we have time. Probably we will. We are doing very good on time in this class this year. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, don't be intimidated. It's a fairly easy homework. It's just two equations, and like I said many times, this equation is gonna be the most important thing for exam 2, knowing this equation and understanding what you need to use for S1 and S3. That will make you get this, whether it's pore elasticity or not pore elasticity. Pore elasticity is not that complicated. And yeah, and if you do pore elasticity and you don't know if you did it right, set alpha B equals to 1, it should give you the same answer as before, right? So easy. Because if you multiply PP by alpha B, and then alpha B is 1, this I don't care what is, it's correct, basically. And probably this is how the TA will check your homeworks as well. Yeah, that about homework 3. How many days do you have? Today is the 28th.
10 days.
I thought it's 11. October has
Yeah,
31. Okay, let's not count today. It's raining.
Not really.
Joking.
You can see outside, so something good.
No, I had
It's snowing.
I had a professor, a Pakistani professor. He was very funny. He was teaching us, I think, energy finance or something, and international petroleum contracts. He was very old. I hope he's still alive. He wrote me a recommendation. Let's tell I got $5,000 scholarship. But anyway, he was telling us, you know, the class is basically an exam and the term paper. The term paper, I'm giving you 3 months to do it. And but don't come before the last week and say you don't have time. I already gave you 3 months. I need to give grades too. Like he said, he sat down and he counted the days that he's giving us. And he said, let's not count today, it's raining.
Like, yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. What did we do with this?
Okay. 1 day discount.
Huh?
1 day discount.
Yeah.
Like in Algeria, like during Ramadan period,
Yeah.
the month doesn't work at all.
But they give you an extra salary, right?
Yeah, we know, but the month, like for
Don't they
students,
give you? They give my dad extra salary.
maybe in Saudi,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they respect him. I mean, respecting the other people because maybe he doesn't eat in both of them, you know?
Yeah, but
Okay, that's fine.
at home, there used to be a time they were giving you like 80% of your salary for Christmas. So they call it the 13th salary. It's and it's part of the contract. Well, at home or no, it's not contracted job. It's like if you're a sales associate, they give you a 13th salary, which is not a full salary, because you know Christmas you have to pay money and stuff, and you have to buy gifts.
Because in Ramadan there is one professor, he put in his office door like, please don't knock if it's not urgent because you like there is unexpected behaviors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but not all, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
because we don't eat,
Yeah.
so they shift all the hours.
Yeah. They do that in
Don't have
Saudi
a-
Arabia.
yeah.
They do that
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, for all the schools, except for women, they work like 3 hours less than the men because most of them are,
They are cooking.
they go to prepare food.
Yeah. They have to leave
And also,
early.
they have also babies.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
care
that's
about them
true.
too. Because of the
That's
schools also. So if you have your kids, their shift also is shifted up. So if
Yeah.
you have kids going at 4 outside of the school, they will be going at 2.
Yeah, you have to wake up
So
early.
one of the parents have to go and pick them up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they have all to manage all the,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Yeah, what month is this year? March?
March, I guess.
March, because last year was April.
Yeah, it's gonna be early March.
Early March.
Yeah, it's gonna be last February,
Last February.
the end of February, like end of February.
Okay.
Because last time it was March 8th. It was like, it was 3 days after or 4 days after DC.
DC was 5th of March,
Yes.
because I was in Colorado on the
Yeah.
6th.
March 8th.
Earthquake is June.
March 8th.
June.
June or April?
No, it's summer earthquake.
Uh,
Summer is earthquake. Earthquake is in the summer with Arma. Arma is 1 week earlier this year. So it's early June, early June.
So the moon year shifts compared to the sun year,
Yeah.
I think 8 to 10 days or
Yeah.
9 to 11 days.
Okay. Because you are considering 12, 28 day cycles.
We are considering a month of 29, either 29 or 30. So of course, all the 31st are extra.
Yeah. Those are
Except
extra.
either they are extra with 1 day, not 1 day,
Yeah.
or 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is 29.
Yeah.
So we have 12 months. If they are all extra then we have 12 days. That's the maximum we can.
Okay, 12 days. Okay.
Or sometimes 14 because
Maximum difference going back.
maximum could be more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, so you go back from 12 days maximum from the 8th of March. It means that you go March 1st, February 28th, 8 days, and then 4th, that's February 25, 26,
Yeah.
24, somewhere there. Yeah, that's why he said late February. Anyway, any questions on the homework? Any questions from the people online? Oh, there is nobody online. Thank you very much. I will. I have office hours tomorrow, but I'm available by email. I will make fix the issues of the document, but you can start without me. Just don't get tricked. Remember, SV is 1.1 now, not 1. Poroelasticity is 0.8, and it's very easy to incorporate. You see? Yeah. And obviously, logically, PP crit would be higher than 0.43, right? So yeah, because you need to inject to get these earthquakes. Anyway, and with that, thank you very much. I will see you on Wednesday. We'll carry on with module 3 or anything else you want to discuss about, since we have time.